Listen closely, because the landscape in Houston is shifting right before our eyes. The front office is not sitting idle while the rest of the league waits for the draft. They are hunting, they are aggressive, and they are making calculated strikes that will define the trajectory of this organization for years to come. We are looking at a series of moves that demonstrate a singular focus on dominance. From the secondary to the trenches, the roster is being overhauled with precision. You want to know what the future holds? You need to pay attention to every single detail emerging from the building right now.
Let me tell you something. The Houston Texans just pulled off a move that is going to have the rest of the AFC South looking over their shoulders. We have confirmed that Reed Blankenship has officially signed a 3-year deal with our team. This is not just a depth signing, folks. This is a statement of intent. I have spent the last 8 hours digging into the analytics and the scouting reports, and let me be crystal clear. This young man can play. He brings a level of versatility and toughness that was clearly lacking in the back end of that defense. When you look at the way the NFL is evolving, you need safeties who can cover ground, read the quarterback's eyes, and deliver a hit that changes the momentum of a game. Reed Blankenship fits that profile perfectly. Now, I have heard some people questioning whether this is too much money for a player coming out of Philadelphia, but those people are missing the point entirely. This is about fit. This is about a coaching staff that knows exactly how to maximize the potential of a player who plays with a chip on his shoulder. It is that kind of relentless energy that turns a good defense into a championship caliber unit. The front office in Houston is proving they are not here to play games. They are here to win titles. They identified a gap, they assessed the market, and they went out and grabbed the guy they wanted without hesitation. That is how you run a professional organization. That is how you build a culture of winning. But wait, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Signing a safety is one thing, but how does this impact the broader strategy for the 2026 offseason? The salary cap is a living, breathing entity, and every move has a consequence. If you think the team is done, you are dead wrong. The real question is how this move affects the remaining roster needs. We have seen the board, and there are still major holes that need to be addressed before the training camp begins. Some of you might be wondering if this signals the end of the veteran presence in the defensive backfield. That is exactly where the plot thickens. As we move into the deeper analysis of the entire free agency tracker, you have to ask yourself, is the front office sacrificing long-term flexibility for short-term gain? You need to stay locked in because the next phase of this strategy is even more explosive than what we just witnessed today.
If you want to keep getting exclusive, hard-hitting insights like this, subscribe now. Do not miss out on the breaking news that shapes our team. Join the community and stay ahead of the game.
Now, we have to talk about the man behind the curtain, Nick Caserio. When you look at the 2026 free agency tracker, you are looking at the manifesto of a general manager who is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. This is not just about who they signed yesterday, it is about the total transformation of the roster. We are tracking every single move, from the high-profile acquisitions to the quiet departures that leave fans scratching their heads. You have to understand the philosophy here. The team is stripping away the deadweight and replacing it with players who fit a specific, high-intensity schematic demand. It is surgical. When you look at the losses, you see players who simply did not fit the new vision, and that is a good thing. Do not cry for the guys who are gone. Celebrate the fact that the vision is becoming clearer with every passing hour. We have seen rumors floating around about potential trades for offensive line help, and let me tell you, the smoke is getting thicker. If you are watching the tracker, you see the gaps, you see the needs at the edge and the interior line. The team is not just filling spots, they are building a foundation. Some of you are frustrated by the departures, and I hear you, but you have to look at the math. In the modern NFL, you cannot keep everyone. You have to be ruthless. You have to be willing to cut ties with fan favorites if it means getting closer to that Lombardi trophy. That is the reality of the business. That is the cold, hard truth that most people are afraid to talk about. But I am not here to coddle you. I am here to give you the reality. The tracker is updated in real time, and it shows a front office that is constantly scanning the waiver wire, calling agents, and negotiating deals that don't even hit the headlines until it is too late for the competition to react. This is a masterclass in roster management. But as we see these names cycle through the tracker, one name keeps popping up in the conversation about the interior defensive line. It's a name that some of you might have forgotten, but the front office clearly hasn't. The move they made next is going to redefine the identity of the entire defensive front. You think you know how this offseason is going to play out? You have no idea. The intensity is just beginning to ramp up.
Let me tell you, if you were worried about the trenches, you can stop sweating right now. The Houston Texans have officially re-signed Ed Ingram to a massive 3-year deal. This is the definition of a key move. You cannot win in this league if you cannot control the line of scrimmage, and keeping Ed Ingram in the fold is the single most important decision the team has made this week. He is a veteran who understands the system, he brings stability, and he brings a nastiness that you cannot teach. I have been watching him for years, and his ability to anchor against the run while providing a clean pocket is exactly what this offense needs to take that next leap. Some people might look at the numbers and say it is a lot of money, but I say it is a bargain. In a league where quality linemen are harder to find than a needle in a haystack, you pay the man who delivers. This is a massive victory for the coaching staff. They know that if they have Ed Ingram holding down his spot, they can be much more aggressive with the rest of their offensive packages. It changes the entire playbook. You can run the ball up the middle with confidence, and you can trust your quarterback to stand tall in the pocket because he knows his blind side or his interior protection is locked down. This is the kind of move that wins games in December and January. It is not the flashy headline-grabbing signing that gets all the likes on social media, but it is the signing that wins championships. It is the bedrock of a successful season. I have said it before and I will say it again. You win in the trenches or you go home. The front office gets an A+ for this one, no questions asked. They locked down their guy, they secured their future, and they sent a message to the rest of the division that they are not going anywhere. But as we digest the impact of this retention, we have to pivot to the next piece of the puzzle. There is a significant move that happened in the background involving a player who once carried the weight of being a first-round draft pick. You have to wonder, what is the motivation behind bringing in a former Saints blue-chip prospect? Does this indicate a lack of faith in the current depth chart, or is it a calculated gamble on untapped potential?
We are breaking news right now, and this is the kind of move that makes you sit up and take notice. The Houston Texans have officially reached an agreement with a former Saints first-round draft pick. When you bring in a guy with that kind of pedigree, you are betting on the talent, you are betting on the ceiling, and you are betting on your ability to fix what went wrong in his previous stop. We are talking about elite physical tools, the kind of size and speed that you simply cannot coach. This is a classic high-reward move. The scouting department has been working overtime, digging into the tape, and they clearly see something that the rest of the league missed. This is the definition of a strategic acquisition. You take a guy who was once the crown jewel of a draft class, you put him in a system that fits his skill set, and you watch him flourish. This is how dynasties are built. It is not just about the big-name free agents. It is about finding the diamonds in the rough who just need a change of scenery. Think about the potential here. If this player reaches even 80% of his draft day projection, the Texans have just secured a steal. The energy in the building is palpable. Everyone understands that this is the final piece of the current phase of the roster construction. We started with the secondary, we moved to the trenches, and now we are adding elite-level talent to round out the depth. This is a complete, well-oiled machine of an offseason. I have been covering this team for a long time, and I have never seen a front office this locked in, this focused, and this efficient. They are not just checking boxes, they are systematically upgrading every single position group. This is the hallmark of a team that expects to be playing in late February. You can feel the shift in the air. The team is becoming faster, stronger, and significantly more dangerous. We have discussed the signings, the tracker, the renewals, and now this massive addition. It all connects. It all points to a singular goal. You wanted to know if this team was serious? You have your answer. The pieces are on the board. The strategy is clear. Now it is time to see if they can execute on the field. Everything we have discussed leads to this moment, and the expectations have never been higher for this roster. You are watching a team transform into a true contender.
This is a decisive moment for our team. We have seen the signings, the contract extensions, and the strategic gambles that will define the upcoming season. The front office is pushing all the chips into the middle of the table, and they are betting that this roster has what it takes to climb to the top of the mountain. But the real question remains, among all these moves, which one do you think will have the biggest impact when the pads come on in September? Is it the veteran stability in the trenches, or the high upside gamble on that former first-round pick? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We are in this together, and the journey is just getting started. Stay tuned.